to the Chief of Police and possibly Mr. Iderola and maybe Mr. Alonso as well. This relates to the HVAC system and maybe even Mr. Winter at the Danbury Police Department. I had some communications with different staff people regarding this matter, and just want to know with the extremely hot weather coming up and humid weather coming up over the next several days, where that stands with regard to the original installer, I believe, trying to correct the problems with the HVAC system at the police department, and what a tentative, my understanding is there's no final deadline, but at least a tentative deadline may be before we would take further steps, which I won't obviously question legal issues on the floor in open session right now.
Mr. Iderola?
The heating and ventilating system at the police department is very sophisticated, is very complicated. We have been having some problems tweaking the system for a little bit of time. We've had a manufacturer come in and look at the chiller. We've had a number of other specialty consultants come in and look at it. There is a high-level meeting tomorrow in my office to go over the next step. Although the law department and ourselves are prepared to go where we need to go, and there's a tremendous amount of leftover money that would rectify this, we really feel that is something that can be done in a more cooperative spirit. There's a lot of different trades involved, so we want to make sure that there's a cooperative spirit. I've seen a couple of emails flying around with some temperature readings. Let me just tell you, those temperature readings, whoever's passing those out, I have a sensor in every room. By a computer, I can determine what the temperature is. There was no temperature in any part of that building that were over 73 degrees. The other thing I want to mention to you is this chiller likes hot weather. It doesn't like these warm and cold, a little warm, a little cold. It looks for some hot weather. So when we actually have some hot weather, it loves to crank.
You understand it's going to shut up tomorrow because you said I just want to ask you, you just put the major, he jinxed the Malocchio to the whole thing.
No, we've been trending it, and that's what we're finding is it's what we call the shoulder season, which is where you're really not warm, but you have to run the chiller. During a very, very warm day, it actually works fine. But there are probably about 8 people looking at the performance of this chiller on a daily basis in the computer. And we know exactly what's going on with it at any time of the day. So, at night.
Can I follow up, Your Honor? Again, with regard to time frame, you have a high-level meeting with various parties tomorrow. If you don't have a time frame, I understand that. But just from a standpoint of a time frame to either correct the issue or, remedies, common knowledge, there's a bond, a performance bond, I imagine, out there that certainly you can do after.
There's a large retainer on the project.
Large retainer. So we have remedies, but this has been going on for some time. I know we always want to work in a more cooperative way rather than attempt either litigate or pre-litigation steps. That's understandable in terms of money. But do we have at least an idea of a time frame when we're going to have to go in one direction or another?
Well, yeah, let me just tell you, if we were to pull the plug today and say, let's go get a chiller, you can't go get a chiller today. It's the middle of summer. We're going to rip that chiller out of here, the police department's going to be out any cold air for probably a month and a half, 2 months. So it's something that we have until the fall to determine a solution, pick out a chiller if we're going to replace it, or pick out a solution to fixing the existing chiller. It might be a programming issue. So we wouldn't be ripping this chiller out in the dead of summer. That's the last thing we'd be doing. This would be something that would be done in the early spring or the late fall, where you're actually not looking for air conditioning. So time frame wise, we're as the season gets hotter, the chiller's going to be coming offline less. And then in the fall, we'll probably get into what I call the shoulder season again, where we might have these hiccups. But by the end of the fall, we're going to have this thing either fixed or that chiller's out of there and we're going to have a brand new chiller. And we have remedies to do that. Legally, we're sitting on a ton of money, retainage-wise, and there's a big surety bond. So we're in a perfect position.
I just want to add that KVA Is not they want to try to get this resolved. And, if we could put the chiller in tomorrow, and that would 100% forever fix the problem, we do it. But the fact that they are being cooperative, trying to come up with a resolution, because we got a month or two to do that before we have to put a trigger on any final fix. We want to give them an opportunity to do it.
And, Mr. Councilman, we have done a number of trial bases on different programming aspects and different modifications to the chiller. We're pretty much at the tail end of that process now, based on the manufacturer's recommendations. And that's something that we really owed a contractor and we really owed ourselves before we could go to a surety company and claim that we had damages.
You're basically exhausting the possible solutions
That's correct.
with the current system.
That's correct.
And then by the end of the summer, a decision is going to have to be made.
That's correct, and we're basically making our own case by doing that.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Connor?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Iadirola, just like to comment. Thank you for the outstanding job that your department.
Don't encourage us.
Well, I got to give credit where credit is due. On Star Road between Sand Pit and Federal Road, Tony, you guys did a great job on that drainage problem over there. It's been a long time coming. That flooding problem is taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Mr. O'Connor.
Thank you, Your Honor. To probably the chief, if I may ask a quick question. Sure.
Chief Baker.
If with the temperature problems that we've been having or not having, whatever, has there been any effect on the communications equipment at all, where that room is located?
No, it's got a separate air conditioning unit that has been working.
That one works?
That one works?
It's good. Mr. Rotello.
Thank you.
All right, just continuing on that same theme through the chair to Mr. Iadirola. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say at no point has any room in the police station gotten above 73? Was that the figure?
I'm making reference to an email that talked about some rooms that were over 73, which I know based on my computer program and sensors that we have in the room, that it was up around 73 from what my staff is telling me. That's correct. Right. That's what I said.
That doesn't mean the humidity did rise. It doesn't measure humidity, correct?
Yeah, we measure temperature. We don't measure humidity. But temperature is a direct reflection of humidity.
I'm missing something. 73.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm missing something. 73. It's probably 78 in here right now. I mean,
well, it's about air movement. It's not only about temperature. It's about moving air. And it's a complicated system. It's about humidity and things like that. So
we don't have anything that is 90, 92, 90.
Well, I wouldn't know because I'd have to do basically a picture, take a snapshot of each room at a specific time on a computer to determine what the temperature reading was. But we checked a couple of the rooms that we were getting some complaints on because it was a major concern. Based on email, it was a major concern that if those rooms were getting up to that temperature, it was something unique.
Really hot, you go in and check it out in 70.
That's correct. Yeah, we get right on a computer. The system that we have reports every motor that's running, every ventilation system that's running, every open, closed, louver, all that stuff is reported on a computer.
Which, not to really muddle the issue, but when we finish the boilers at the high school, we'll have a very similar system. We'll be able to check into the rooms remotely. Mr.
Just a comment on a question, Your Honor. Just so we're clear, it doesn't seem to be belittling in response to Councilman Rotello's comment. 73 is a very different 73 when it's very humid, when the air's not circulating, than a 73 in a dry temperature with circulating air. You got equipment that you're wearing in uniform, so I think you have to look at that on balance and understand you're doing what you can do and appreciate the information regarding the time frame. Thank you.